Oh, what's up? Didn't see you there in my kitchen. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another heavy runner video. Today we're going to be talking about the Nike Vomero PLUS. This shoe has come out recently and I wanted to jump on that train quickly. So I went and got myself a pair and we're going to talk about it today. So just a couple of quick things before we start. I did buy this shoe in a 12.5. It weighs, real-time measurement, about 12.5 ounces. That really doesn't play a role for me, but if it plays a role for you, then you know that data. The drop is also a 10 millimeter drop. We'll talk about that drop a little bit. It doesn't feel totally like 10 millimeters. It doesn't feel that high. And I don't know if that's because of the foam or how the shoe is made, but that's what it says on the internet, that it is a 10 millimeter drop. And this is ZoomX foam all the way through. That's what they tell me. I don't know what specific type of composite it is. I know that there are different types of ZoomX foam, but I don't really care. It's a good foam and it runs all the way through the shoe. And it is a max cushion shoe for sure. So I think it's only fair to compare it against the Puma MagMax. These shoes are both $180 and they're both max cushion shoes. So I will be making some comparisons to that throughout the video. But let's get these on feet. Let's get out on the road and let's run in these Nikes. All right, before we begin, I'm gonna do a little bit of a squish test here. Just to kind of put all my weight on my heel and then kind of roll that around the side. All the weight in the forefoot. See the way that the foam kind of crinkles like that? Then come back around. Oh, that is definitely a max cushion shoe. But again, I'm about 230 pounds. That is just how the foam reacts under my foot without running. It's just standing. So let's get out there and run and see what it's like. All right, first few miles in the Vomero PLUS. I haven't owned a Vomero line shoe before. I haven't owned any of the Vomeros before this, and I haven't tried the premium. This is like my first experience with a Nike Vomero shoe, and it's good. I'm actually really enjoying the shoe. One of the main sticking points in our categories for me is probably going to be value. That's why I want to compare it to the MagMax, because $180 is a lot of money for a daily trainer. And I don't really know if this is a daily trainer, but you know, it's like max cushion. And I understand that now with Nike's lineup, they have to make it different. Like you got the Vomero and then the Plus and the Premium. They gotta like differentiate them all. And they have to all be at different price points, obviously. But $180? I don't know about that. Okay, now it's time for the montage part of the video. All right, just some thoughts while I'm out here. It's a very comfortable shoe. I'm not getting any like hot spots or anything. I'm also not bottoming it out. There's plenty of cushion and the foam is actually nice and bouncy. So I am getting a decent amount of return. There's only so much return you can really get out of a max cushion shoe. But I think that it's definitely got some bounciness to it. This might be all the return they can actually get out of the shoe. I feel like at
my body composition, about 230 pounds, I'm compressing the shoe enough that it is giving me something back. I think that it could be compressed at much lighter weights as well and might work even better. I'm not totally sure about heavier weights. I'm sure it would be fine, but the foam isn't that resilient to the point where if you're like 240, 250, 260, I don't know if you're gonna get the same bounce out of the foam when it brings you back up off your foot stride. That being said though, it is resilient enough that this foam is not collapsing. It's supporting me well. And then, like I said, it's even getting me a little bit of return as well. So it's a really nice cruising shoe. It's a nice max cushion shoe. I think it's doing that job very well. But again, we got to stack it up against the 4 categories and then compare it to some other shoes and see where we're at. So, all right, let me just finish out the rest of my run here and we'll be back together for the breakdown.
All right. We finished up the run. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna go through the 4 categories first, and then we'll do some comparisons with some other shoes. But let's talk about comfort first. The shoe's very comfortable. I mean, no matter how you slice it. Let's see if this will stay in the background. Nice. This shoe, yeah, it's extremely comfortable. I did not get any hot spots or weird spots. It didn't hurt my feet in any way. I was not getting any blisters. It seems wide enough. It doesn't really have high arches or anything going on that's weird kind of right here in the foot. I sometimes do get blisters with other shoes here. Didn't have any of those issues. Sometimes with max cushion shoes as well as high drop shoes, they can really hurt my knees. These ones were fine. I didn't really notice. I didn't really notice that. So I would say comfort on a scale of 1 to 4. It's a good 3.5. I mean, like, there were some things that I didn't love. I don't love this super big tongue. I don't love, when I'm gonna run, I don't love shoes with a super plush tongue. I like a little bit of padding here, obviously, to like avoid lace bite and whatnot, but this is really thick. It doesn't, the fit is just a little bit, I don't know how to describe this. Like, it is very streamlined. It's actually not super hot, which I enjoyed. It is breathable. There are just some parts that feel a little sloppy, and it is, I do kind of feel like it's the lockdown. Just especially with the tongue and the way that the laces are configured, I just didn't feel like I got a real nice lockdown that I was comfortable with. So that's why we're gonna go 3.5. But the shoe itself, just like how your foot actually sits in the shoe, running in it, comfortable, for sure. Let's talk about durability. This outsole is gonna be very durable. Nike's been pretty good with this lately. There's not really any exposed foam here. Like, this white strip here is exposed. But where it really matters, like back here, if you're a heel striker, or like in this region for me, totally fine. Also, it is a pretty decently wide base, so you are getting a lot of stability in that, which is nice. But yeah, this is gonna be durable. I'm just trying to notice, I mean, it is ZoomX foam, right? So if you are a bit heavier like I am, you are gonna notice creases starting to form throughout the shoe. That's just ZoomX foam. I mean, that's just what it does. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I don't think that's going to affect the durability of the shoe, but outsole is great. Toe area, I mean, I actually do kind of like this. They've got this is like reinforced, sort of, like a different type of plastic material that's sitting on top of the foot there, on the toe, and then it like wraps into the toe right here. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a pretty durable shoe over the lifetime. I think you would be able to get a lot of miles out of this. It's constructed really well. Let's talk about versatility. I'm not gonna say that this shoe is one note, because I don't think it's fair to reduce it down to something like that, but this is gonna be a recovery shoe. I don't really see people doing much else. Like, you could, obviously you can make any shoe your daily trainer. You can daily train with no shoes on if you want. But I don't think this has the versatility of just a normal stack daily trainer. I don't think you can really push the paces too hard in this. You could daily train in this though. If you're just doing relaxed miles, chilling, you could daily train in this. If you're looking for recovery miles that still give you a little bit of bounce and you're not just getting bogged down in your recovery miles, this is going to be a great shoe for that. I didn't give it, I'm pretty inconsistent with these ratings. I didn't give durability a rating. I would say I would give it a 4. I mean, why not, you know? For this, for versatility, out of 4, I'd give it a 2. I mean, you're gonna get a solid what you want out of this shoe, which is like a recovery shoe, and like you could daily trade in this. You're not gonna get races in this. Like, I guess maybe, no. I don't think it's built for that. So you're gonna get a solid 2, which is fine. You know, not every shoe needs to do everything. Where we're really gonna struggle now is value and price. Again, this was $180, and I get it. Like I was saying when I was out there, I understand the marketing strategy with every shoe from Nike has like the 3 tiers, and you have to differentiate them by price. I get it. But you know what else is $180? That's the Puma MagMax. And for the money, I would pick the Puma MagMax. Like, every time. This feels more like a serious running shoe. This feels like I could put this on, I could do recovery miles, I could daily train in this. I could even, if I was just doing a race and I was just doing it to finish, like if I was doing a half marathon and my goal is just to finish, even a marathon, if my goal was like, yeah, I just want to get out there and finish, I don't really care about like doing it super fast or time, I would put these on. Like, these are extremely comfortable. They are comparable in durability, in like I said, a little bit more versatile. They're just as comfortable, especially, I mean, like, given that these shoes work for your feet. I'm gonna pick this. If I had $180 in my pocket, I'm going to pick the Puma MagMax and not the Vomero Plus. That being said, if you don't have the Puma MagMax, you might be looking at these. If you have the Puma MagMax, I would skip these. You don't need these. These are not going to fit into your rotation in a way that the MagMaxes already are. Like, these will be redundant and unnecessary if you already have those. If you're looking at the two and comparing, again, my opinion is the MagMax is more of like a serious shoe. I'm trying to like quantify that in words, but I kind of can't. It's just like when I put that shoe on, it feels more well built, it feels more purpose driven, it feels more like I'm going to get what I want out of that shoe, which is a protective and bouncy shoe that's just going to carry me for miles and miles. This feels that way, but it feels like it's going to carry me for 5, 6, 7 miles. Like, I feel like I could run forever in the Puma MagMax, where these, I was starting to get kind of fatigued at those higher miles. When I put this shoe on, I kind of feel like, yo, it's a good looking shoe and it's very comfortable. You could wear this casually. Like, I'm going to be straight up honest, if you're on your feet all the time, like at a job that you're on your feet or you need to walk around a lot, I would buy this shoe for that purpose. It almost feels purpose built for maximum comfort, all day wear, just walking around, being on your feet. Like, if I was like a dental assistant or something, I would probably pick up these bad boys. But for like serious training, serious running, it just doesn't feel like these are serious enough. I don't know how to like put that on a metric out of 4. They're good shoes. If you have them, you'll like them. I think they do what they say that they're going to do. I just would not buy them for $180. Like, you're comparing it to like the Nova Blast 5, which is like almost a max cushion shoe, but it's more of a daily trainer, and that's at $140. Like, the gap between 140 and 180, where this is like a max cushion shoe for sure, but like, you're not getting that much more out of something like a Nova Blast 5. I know that shoe doesn't work for everybody and it's not like super bouncy, but for me it works. I like it. It is somewhat bouncy. This shoe is like a little bit bouncier, but is it worth $40 more to get a little bit more bounce? No. That being said, this is a Nike shoe, so they will be on sale at some point. So if you can pick these up for 140, 150, maybe 160, it's gonna be a better deal.
I would not pay $180 for this shoe. I would not do that, especially if you already have a Max Cushion shoe. This shoe is not doing something different in the Max Cushion space. It's just another player that's comfortable and bouncy. So if you already have a Max Cushion shoe, keep it. You're not missing out. So, long story short, is the Vomero Plus the MagMax killer? The answer is no. The answer is no, it is not. It is just another player in the Max Cushion gang, and that's that. So if you like Nike, if you only run in Nike, you need a plus, a maximum cushion shoe from Nike, there's your answer. But if you're anybody else who's normal, will just buy the best shoe for the job, I don't think that's the best shoe for the job. It is a shoe, and it does work for the job, just not the best. I would still give that to this, and I would give it over, you know, we're talking about $200 shoes now, but like the Glycerin Max or the Skyward X, that's like $225. I mean, obviously we're getting out of the range of the $180 of the Vomero Plus, but those shoes are gonna be better for just max comfort, max stack. You're gonna have a better, I think the holy trio is MagMax, Skyward X, and Glycerin Max. Glycerin and Skyward X do not work for me. This is the only one that does. These did, surprisingly. I struggle with Max Cushion shoes. They hurt my knees. I just feel slow in them. These ones didn't, so take that for what it's worth. I would just, for $180, pick this every time. Sorry. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Thanks for joining me on the Vomero Plus ride. These shoes are what they say they are, and that's awesome. But I don't need them, so I'm probably gonna let these ones go. You probably won't see another video with these directly in them, even though they look really nice. Honestly, if I just had $180 I wanted to set on fire, I'd wear these casually and just keep them. But I wanna bring other shoes to the channel. I wanna bring other reviews to you guys, so I gotta use that money to buy other shoes. So probably gonna let these ones go. They're not gonna have a place in my rotation, but I did enjoy running in them. So if you pick them up, let me know how you feel about them. Let me know your experience with Max Cushion shoes. Is this just a trend that's gonna be gone, just like how like barefoot running was kind of really popular? Now we're on the opposite end of the pendulum. Let me know your thoughts. Anyways, that's it for me. Heavy runner out. Enjoy. I hope you enjoyed talking about the Vomero Plus, and we'll see you next time.